When you get involved or Walking on Water gets involved, because there's a few people that work with Walking on Water that do projects, what are the stories that attract you guys?
Usually it's a story that's impacted my life where the minute I heard it, I was like, whoa, that caught my attention and I wanted to know more. Mm-hmm. And then immediately it's like, well, I think I represent a bunch of people out there. And so if I want to know more about this blind surfer that surfed pipeline, I would think the world would want to know too. And when I saw that he had like 500,000 views on YouTube for his video of surfing pipeline, it was like, okay.
Yeah.
This is a movie that people want to see if we could make it.
Are you out there looking for stories, or do they like fall in your lap?
I'd say a little bit of both. I'm always kind of dreaming and thinking like, gosh, what would be a great movie? I love movies. I love people's stories that have impacted my life, and then being able to then go and show and share those stories. But we had written a script for another movie, and then I met Derek Rebello in Brazil. And we then changed everything and went and made Beyond Sight.
When you start a project, you're dedicating the next years of your life to that project. What are some of those hardships that come out of making movies?
There's a reason why at the end of a movie there's 1,000 credits. And like all those people do a lot to make that movie what it was or what it is. Yeah. And in independent filmmaking, we're all wearing a lot of hats. And as there needs to be one person that's like the leader, that's like, we're going to get this thing across the finish line if I have to die doing it. Mm-hmm. And for our movies, that's been me. There's been a few of our movies that was actually somebody else besides me, and it was actually great. I got to watch them do it. Like Todd did Promised Land about a Christian surfer and a Jewish surfer. It's a beautiful thing to be an independent filmmaker. We can do whatever movie we want, whenever we want, however we want. There's a lot of freedom. The counter side of that is we don't always have the money that we need. At the same time, you're feeling like you're overwhelmed because you're doing 30 people's jobs. That in a real movie, there'd be literally 30 or 50 people doing what I'm doing and what I'm asking others to do. It's a grassroots filmmaking monster.
Sounds really inviting. I'm glad you're encouraging everybody.
But I mean, there's some of the best memories in my life. It's like making the movies and writing them, and you get to be so creative. I mean, you're asking about the problems. I mean, if you ask me about what I love about it.
When the movie's done, showing the audience, mm-hmm. like what is the final product? Is that payoff good enough to keep you going and wanting to do more?
Yeah, I'd say absolutely. Every time that I'm in a theater and I see an audience watch our latest movie and they love it, and they're impacted by it and they're brought closer to the Lord and their relationship with the Lord, that's like everything. So that when I hear those stories of somebody saying, hey, I watched that one movie and that's what, like, I was going this direction and then I ended up going this direction as a result of seeing that movie or hearing about Bethany Hamilton's story or hearing about Derek, that's priceless. But back to what you're saying, like counting the cost of getting your story out there. You can throw a movie together and get your story done and finished and throw it on YouTube and it is what it is. But at Walking on Water Films, we kind of have this like level of excellence where we want it to turn out really good, and we're willing to work hard to get it to that level. And so I would encourage like independent filmmakers, like, hey, don't just make a movie, like be prepared to make it and painfully to get it to across the finish line, looking, sounding, and being excellent, like especially with the story. And with Beyond Sight, our 12th movie, we still painfully had to do like a bunch of different re-edits because an audience watched it, gave us their feedback, and then we're like, humbly, we're like, you're right, it is slow in scene 20, scene 25 or whatever. All right, let's go and change that. And so be willing to go the extra mile to like get it to excellent level, even if it takes longer, cost more, whatever it is, like just be willing to do that because it makes all the difference in the world. And your movie will go farther because it's good, because it's excellent. Because people start saying, oh, your movie was pretty good. Then they tell their friends that, and then no one wants to see your movie.
It's true. So. It is true.